Yeah, we wanted to get involved in the Walking Bus project because it was a nationwide initiative I already had experience of when I was teaching in England. And there were issues in our school, particularly regarding traffic and how the residents in our local community were being impacted at school drop-off and pick-up times. And so that led me to want to try and introduce the Walking Bus scheme into our school up here in Ballysillan, to try and help initially to solve that problem, really.
Around this time last year, we were approached by Belfast Healthy Cities asking us if we would like to pilot the walking bus project. And we jumped at the chance. We've looked at all the benefits, had a bit of insight into previous schools and other schools that take part in the walking bus, and there was no reason not to get involved with it. Yeah, our school would have quite a few issues with regards to congestion and traffic flow, both within Deanby Gardens itself and the local area. Our school is located at the bottom of a cul-de-sac, and for years there's been issues with cars coming both in and out of Deanby Gardens, and also the volume of traffic.
And we've had support on lots of different things, whether that's been funding for High-Vis jackets, whether that's been getting support on the best routes to walk to school in the mornings, and even to organising and having support with big events to mark things like Walk to School Week.
We got a lot of help and support to start our walking bus, and have had continued support from a number of groups, including Belfast Healthy Cities, Ministerial Advisory Group, the Curzon Community Champions within our local area. And if they have continued, they're always keeping in touch with us to see how it's going. And then on our launch week of the walking bus, in line with Walk to School Week, the guys from Belfast Healthy Cities came out, supported us all week, and especially on our lunch day.
Our school's very lucky to have a really nice social media presence, and so our Facebook page, we're able to regularly share updates about the walking bus. We're able to regularly share messages about mindful parking for our residents at busy drop-off and pick-up times, and having the walking bus there is a really easy go-to how we can help solve the problem and also help make our school environment a little bit safer and healthier as well.
Yeah, since the walking bus has started within our school, we've noticed quite a few changes, not just with traffic around the school, but that was the main kind of change we've seen. There's definitely a reduction in the number of cars coming in and out of Deanby Gardens in the morning. Our principal, vice principal and caretaker greet our girls at the gate, and from the very start and up until now, they have seen a huge reduction in the number of cars. Also an increase in people walking to school, not only with the walking bus, but also with their parents as well.
The benefits for the children who are involved in the walking bus are huge. Obviously, you have the first one, which is they're starting the day every day with regular exercise. They're getting outdoors. They're burning off some of the energy before they get into the school. And I think that's a positive benefit for the adults as well that participate. But outside of that, I think our school has recognised the benefits for all the children, and it has almost become part of our whole school provision. So if we have a child who is maybe anxious about coming to school, we can invite them to come on the walking bus, and it just helps to start the day in a slightly different way. It maybe helps to reduce that anxiety and stress. The walk to school itself, being outside and starting the day alongside your friends, getting to have a chat, getting to have a walk up to the school instantly reduces their stress and anxiety anyway. If you have children who maybe struggle to get to school on time, or families who need a little bit of extra support to make sure that happens, we've been able to invite them to the walking bus. And the benefits obviously there are huge as well, and really clear for everyone to see. So we've been really lucky in that establishing our walking bus has helped us to see the bigger picture, and what a walking bus scheme, a successful walking bus scheme, can really do to help with your whole school community.
There have been a number of benefits that we have seen for the children involved in the walking bus, including they come to school a lot happier, they are more relaxed, they have had that kind of outburst of energy on their way to school, and they're going into their classroom ready to work. A lot of teachers have also commented on their level of concentration coming in from the walking bus. And it's fun for them. They're getting a wee bit of fun. They're chatting to other people before they arrive to school. And then when the time they get to school, they've had their chat, so they're ready to work. We are also finding an increase in attendance and punctuality. The children are coming to school maybe who would be a bit late, usually a bit later. They're coming into school because they're part of the walking bus. They're always in on time. So there's no disruption to class that way.
When we have visitors who come to our school, it's always something that we're really proud to talk about with them. And anyone who passes us by in the mornings with our High-Vis jackets on, with our school badges on, letting everyone know who we are, it's a really easy way of publicising our school in the community without us really having to do much other than popping our High-Vis jackets on and running the walking bus every morning.
In Our Ladies, we currently have 2 walking bus routes from 2 different locations, and our walking bus takes place every single morning. Apart from mornings where there is bad rain or ice or snow, apart from that, every single day we're out and the girls are out and walking to school.
We have one established route at the moment in Ballysillan Primary School, and that takes place every morning, Monday to Friday. And it was actually alongside yourselves, the Belfast Healthy Cities project, who helped us identify the best route to come to school and the safest route to come to school. Initially, we used to walk alongside the main road, and now we've changed slightly to be coming through some of the side estates and up through the neighbourhoods to the back entrance of the school. So yes, we have one established route that we go on every day, every morning at the moment, Monday to Friday.
On both our walking bus routes, we would have a minimum of 2 members of staff walking with each bus. That is everybody from teachers, our building supervisor, classroom assistants, and they volunteer their own time in the morning to volunteer walking our girls to school. In terms of managing staff for the walking bus on a weekly basis, I, at the start, sent out basically a sheet for anybody who wanted to volunteer their time. And I set up then a timetable on a rota on a weekly basis. So everybody knows what morning they're on the walking bus. For example, I'm always on it on a Tuesday morning, and other teachers on it Wednesday morning. And that doesn't really change unless there's any absences or anybody needs to swap. A weekly basis is good because everybody knows what day they're on the walking bus and there's no chopping and changing.
For the adults that support the walking bus in our school, we have myself who go every morning, and that counts as my sort of extracurricular activity. Lots of different teachers may do after school clubs. I do that every morning as almost as my after school club extracurricular activity, Monday to Friday, alongside 2 of our teacher assistants who are contracted to the school. So there's the 3 adults to the walking bus children, and we leave school every morning at 8:15 to go and meet the children down at 8:20 at the walking bus stop. We wait for around 10 minutes, and at 8:30 we head back up to school, and it takes us about 15 minutes. And when we arrive, my 2 teaching assistants then take the children to the library and they'll share a story or play some games together. And then they will then take the children to their classrooms before going on to their own classrooms to start their day.
Our staff completely deliver or volunteer independently for our walking bus, so they're not paid. Some classroom assistants have it built into their staffing hours, but in terms of teachers, no, it's on a voluntary basis. There isn't any pay, just appreciation for it. So if a staff member is off sick or can't make it for some reason, they either swap with another teacher, another member of staff, or they contact me and I try and arrange somebody else to go on the walking bus. We're very lucky in Our Ladies with plenty of people to volunteer, and if we were really short, I would go out and do 2 days. It doesn't take up too much time. You just need to be well prepared and know in advance if you're going to be out on the walking bus. But yeah, I would manage the rota and people will let me know if they can't make it or if we need to get someone to cover their day.
If anyone's unable to make our walking bus for whatever reason in the morning, if it's one of my teaching assistants that help me on that walking bus in the morning, they will always text me directly, as well as letting the principal know, of course, as well. So yeah, we take a register every day when the children arrive at the walking bus. Parents are involved in our walking bus every morning. We've put out an invite to parents to come along with us. We have one parent at the moment who is trying to get themselves as an established member of our team. That has to go through certain checks with the school, obviously, and how do we set that up, and do we do an access NI? How does things like insurance, as we spoke about before, work for that? Our parents generally tend to join us because they want to join us every morning. I would say that every morning on the walking bus, we would have at least one or two parents who come with us just because they want to walk to school with their child, which is always really, really good, because we're always grateful for extra adults, extra pair of eyes and bits and pieces like that. But also it's really lovely because you see those parents or uncles or granddads who maybe wouldn't have ever had that time in the morning to come and walk with their child to school. Suddenly there's an excuse now for them to come and join them.
In terms of parent involvement, we took the approach that we weren't going to ask parents to get involved. Another reason we really felt the need for a walking bus is it takes the pressure off our parents in the morning. A lot of our parents would work kind of city centre or further down the old park. So instead of battling against the traffic to get the children up to school and then back out, we were cutting their journey in half. They didn't have to come all the way up and battle against the traffic and the roads and the roundabouts. So we haven't taken and we haven't approached parents to get involved in our walking bus. And I'd say it's because we're lucky that we have such a supportive staff that we don't need parent involvement. And that's not to say some parents don't join us some mornings and walk up to school, especially for the younger pupils. Some parents like to just join and walk with us. But no, it's our staff who manage our walking bus. In terms of insurance, the walking bus can be insured through your whole school insurance, or I know some schools can have it insured through their PTA. Through PTA, it would probably be more that if you do have parents involved, as it's just our staff that are responsible for the walking bus, then it's through our school insurance. In terms of what time we leave school to meet the children, it really just depends on how far your bus stop is from the school and how long it would take you to walk out to it. Ours are about 5 or 10 minutes. So our staff leave the school grounds at 8:20 to make it to the bus stop for 8:30. The children are then told to meet at the bus stop at 8:30. The bus would be leaving at 8:35. And we leave at 8:35 on the dot to make sure that we have enough time to get back to school for the start of school. So it's about a 10-minute walk out, wait 5 minutes for the children, and then a 10-minute walk back. Some days it's quicker, some days it's slower. It just really depends on who's on the bus and the weather and any other issues along the way. We wait for our children at the walking bus stop for approximately 5 minutes. They know, just like a normal bus on the road, the bus leaves at 8:35. So if you want to be on the walking bus, you need to be there because it leaves at 8:35. Sometimes the walking bus, the route will go past some of our children's houses, and some of the children just join on from there as well instead of walking down to the bus stop and on. So you can pick children up along the way, but that stop we leave at 8:35, so we're only there for 5 minutes. The length of the walking route again just depends on your school. You wouldn't want to have your walking bus route any longer than about 5-10 minutes. Ours is 10 minutes at a slow walk. Again, depends on the number of children you have and the age of the children as to how long it will take you, but about 5-10 minutes from the school, nothing more.
We have had to cancel the walking bus when the weather's been very, very icy. We're on a hill, so obviously as soon as there's any ice, it makes it a little bit more dangerous. And our routine now is that our health and safety coordinator in the school is normally in school by about 7:30 in the morning. They'll do an inspection and a risk assessment, and they'll establish whether or not it's going to be safe for us to travel. And if not, then they will be the one to jump onto the school Facebook page and just send out a status update that all parents normally see, just to say the walking bus has been cancelled. And we also have Seesaw as well, whole school Seesaw, and we send a message out there as well directly to all parents, whether they come on the walking bus or not. We send it out as a whole school message, just to say the walking bus has been cancelled this morning.
Yeah, we all wear high-vis vests, so staff and pupils, and it is a requirement that if the children are on the walking bus, then they do have to wear a high-vis vest, especially in the winter mornings when it's a lot darker or if it's wet. The high-vis vests are just part of our safety procedure and part of our risk assessment that every member, every person who's on our walking bus must be wearing a high-vis vest. Yeah.
Whenever we cross the road, we're very lucky in that I said we have our High-Vis jackets provided for us, so we're all very visible. A member of our adult staffing team, who we call our conductors, so a conductor will walk out into the middle of the road, initially making sure the road's clear, and then they will stay in the middle of the road, and I'll have myself at the front, the driver, and I'll have another conductor still remaining at the back of my line, and then we'll all cross the road. And like I said, the children will all walk in pairs, and we'll usually locate the younger children with the adults. So we have children from nursery right up available. You're able to come to the walking bus right up to P7, but we tend to have from nursery up to P4 join us. We walk in our pairs, cross the road in our pairs, and then our conductor will then join the back of the line again and then come back to the middle where they normally would be, and then we'll continue our walk on up to the school.
From our kind of experience of our walking bus, the Ministerial Advisory Group in Belfast Healthy Cities, in partnership with ourselves, had contacted the Department for Infrastructure, and we had discussed the possibility of trying to get safer crossing for the pupils of Our Ladies, because there's one road in particular that's extremely dangerous. There's a high volume of traffic and there's absolutely no crossing methods for the children. So they've been great in helping us, and we hope to make some progress in getting a safer crossing for our girls in the near future. In terms of incentives, this year we decided to kind of have a bus ticket token system. So every morning the girls are on the walking bus, they get a little raffle ticket, and they can collect the raffle tickets, and when they've got 5 they get to take a lucky dip from a box, and all we have in it is Freddos or little packets of Haribo. So for 5 tokens, if they're on the walking bus every day for 5 days, they get that. If they save their tokens up to 15, they get a homework pass, and if they save their tokens and have 35 tokens, they get a little voucher for ice cream, which they can take to one of the local ice cream shops and get themselves a treat from that. So that's the incentive that we looked at this year. I'm sure you're all aware there's not a lot of free money floating around school. So this was a cheap kind of way, but also a beneficial way. And it does encourage the girls, and the girls will always tell me if they see me in school, oh, I've got 10 tokens, and they're waiting for you to come so they can trade their tokens in. If I was speaking to any other school, one sentence I would use to explain getting involved in the walking bus, it's just brilliant. Our walking bus journey kind of started at a perfect time. Our actual school bus was pulled, and our girls then didn't have a way to get to school anymore, and our walking bus was there. We were providing the girls with an opportunity for it, and it sounds like a bigger job than it is. It takes a little bit of work and a little bit of effort to get it set up and going, but as soon as it's there and you've got your staff rota, your families know about it, it really kind of works itself. All you need is people there every morning to turn up every morning, and it's easily done. I personally love the mornings that I have to go on the walking bus. It's a nice kind of break for staff as well. It's a good opportunity to have a chat with pupils that maybe aren't in your class, and you get to know the wider school community. And I just think the benefits are great for both pupils and staff and the wider school community.
I think your school should get involved in the walking bus, because I think that it's really important to look at how it can benefit the whole school and to look at the bigger picture with the walking bus and to really let your imagination run away with you a little bit and to think outside the box of it as well. I think it's something that has opened so many doors for our school, and allowed so many other things to happen in our school that have nothing to do directly with the walking bus at all, but wouldn't have happened if we hadn't made those connections with the walking bus in the first place. So yes, I would say just to give it a go, just go for it, and just see how it goes.